Okay, so I have been saying that I was going to talk about the situation with my car. I hadn't got around to it. I really wish I had better lighting. But so look, here's the deal. So, there's some things on Facebook, like with the way that they've been attacking me using the internet, like things like bits and pieces are in different places associated with like the things that took place. So there's some recent things on Facebook. There are recent things on X, and X has the bulk of those 2 weeks that I spent in or at my car. Okay, and there is very little information on Instagram, and nothing that really pertains to it on YouTube. Okay, like, so on YouTube right now, it doesn't have much of the information. They weren't allowing me to upload anything there. So, and you know, the reason that this stuff is in bits and pieces is because they were divvying it up, lying about who they were doing these things to, and trying to make sure it didn't surface on the internet or reach metadata. So I had to be strategic in how I tried to get some of that stuff out there, and for the longest I couldn't. Like they just had everything, you know what I'm saying, like all their bases and more covered. Okay, remember, they didn't even give a fuck that I had an 8 and 5 days. Okay, like they were getting off on it. So with my car, it's the starter. Okay, so it started with the battery, and when the battery went the last time, they killed my starter. Okay, so when he was troubleshooting, I got ambushed by a couple of guys one night when I returned to my car. Okay, and he inquired. Jason was like, "Hey, Miss Lady, what's up with the car?" You know, and I told him, I said, "It's supposed to be this, but you know, I'm not sure, you know." And so he helped me troubleshoot it. He had the tools to you know, undo it and put it back on, make sure it was fixed, connected the right way, had a secure connection, and that wasn't it. So him and Carlos went back and forth, you know, like you know, trying to charge it, like, you know, just brainstorming about it. And then eventually they were like, call Gerald. And they called Gerald. Gerald comes, and Gerald starts looking around, you know, like, and I later find out that Gerald has worked at Audi and Cadillac. Okay, so he's like qualified. He's older now though. He's 67 years old. 67-year-old black male. And I can't even use that as an excuse for what's taking place. So they call Gerald. Gerald comes and he's looking around. He takes he was looking for the second battery, okay, the auxiliary battery. And when he found the auxiliary battery, this is the part that I missed out on by having the dog. So since the dog was keeping up such a fuss about the guys being near me and me needing to stay back, when he was conveying what he found as he went on, I couldn't get that part. And of course, if I asked him to reiterate that part, he wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying, be able to really know exactly what I was talking about. So he said that while he was under there, he when he disconnected something that it released. Okay, and he was referring to the starter. He said that when the starter went bad, when it goes bad, it locks up, and that when he did something to the auxiliary cable, that he heard it unlock. And that's how he knew. So we tried to start it a couple of more times, and that's how he supposedly knew that that's what the issue was. He knew by ear. Okay, so this is the 19th, the night of the 19th or whatever. So on the 20th, later that night, I sold some stock. I sold my Microsoft share, and I sold my I can't even remember how. They keep removing that from my memory. I just literally had to say this on more than one occasion in a class, like a recording in a class. I had to say NVIDIA, like the word, on more than one occasion. Like, so it's not that I don't know how to pronounce it. They just keep blocking it from my recall. So every time I try to mention it here lately, I have not been able to mention it. I sold 2 shares. I sold a Microsoft share, and I sold a share. And so that was on the 20th. I sold those shares, and it takes like a couple of days because there's a process that it must go through before it becomes unsettled sale, and that's what happened. So I called him the next day. I didn't reach him, and then the day after that I called him again. I texted him first, and then I left him a voicemail. I didn't get him that day, and I think that might have been a Friday. And on Saturday, I saw that I was in the unsettled sales process, and that the money would be available soon. So the problem was, because they fucked up all my shit and stole all my cards, like I couldn't even use my phone to tap. Okay, they completely fucked me over with that the card, with my investment card, and never sent the physical one back to my house, according to informed delivery. Because that's what I checked. I haven't called that hotel since I gave him the information and sent it to my house. And that was January. It's April 5th. So yeah, by Saturday, you know, like it hit there, and so this is the 22nd. Okay, so I'm able to transfer it to another account. All right, so I transfer the money to another account, to my USAA account, and this is the USAA account is the account that they later that coming week, when money started hitting it, like because I was moving more money there, because that's the only card I had to tap with. So I transferred it there. That was supposed to take 2 or 3 days, but they ended up not letting it hit any sooner, because it's such a familiar process by now. It normally doesn't take those 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it's like next day. Okay, but like they were on some extreme bullshit, like, and didn't give a fuck about me not having food or not having had a shower. Okay. Like they were just trying to make sure the suffering was so massive. I'm supposed to be leaving tonight to go shoot, but I'm so motherfucking exhausted, and I can't afford to let nothing get backed up on me. And as much as I don't want to dump any more money into the hotel, I might have to purchase another couple nights. But this shit is about to be immediately. And I told you before, like, it is one of those things. It's not even, it's so far past what I identified before, you know, like me needing to get uncomfortable. You can imagine those 2 weeks in the car were very uncomfortable. But remember, also while I was in my car, I had to move the weapon from the car. That's why I said I was ambushed. There's so much shit that went on. All these details are in videos. I don't even need to, you know what I'm saying, really discuss that shit here. So, dumbasses. I call him and I tell him, I'm like, okay, so, and then I ended up seeing him the next day. He was out there working on somebody else's car or whatever. And when I saw him that next day, I went and I showed him, I said, I just want you to know the money is on the way. You know, like I told you, I had to move, I keep it tied up in stock, so I had to wait for the process to take place in order to get it. And I said, so Monday, if not Monday, Tuesday, for sure, I'll be able to purchase the part and we can get started. There were some circumstances though, like, cause I couldn't get cash. Like, they had me, they watched me waste $25 like on a lift, like going to a location where I knew they had tap. And all Wells Fargos have tap, okay? Like all Wells Fargos have tap. Maybe they're meeting the failure in the back. That's the second part it's done with. It's abnormal though. So, this is why we gotta be selling drugs. Cause y'all some fucking criminals, that's why. Why the fuck are y'all surfacing in front of me? Christ. Dummy. So, while at the same time y'all going off about me not being in my hotel room. So, I'm gonna try to hurry up and spit out these rest of these few details, because I want to talk about this, but I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it. But you know, I'm very detail oriented because the details fucking matter. All right, every fucking thing matters. There's no part of anything that took place with me that does not fucking matter. All right, so I informed him, and he's like, okay. And he asked me, he said, you all right though? He's like, do you need anything? And I was like, no, I'm fine. I was like, I ran out of water earlier. And he was like, okay, I'll go and get you some water from the grocery store right here. So he was like, and that's all you need. I ain't have food, and I wouldn't let him. That's how motherfucking real my hate is. That's how motherfucking real my anger is. Bitch, I'll go without. But my dog was in the fucking car. They fucking with the weather. You know what I'm saying? Like, during the day, he get the light for no reason. Like, because he's their interest. Like, because there's things attached to him. Like, during the motherfucking day, like, out of nowhere, the motherfucker would put on a scene, like, just panting for no reason. Like, getting overwhelmed for no reason. Like, it wasn't that the internal, because the internal temperature, I made sure it did not get to a point where it will not even harm him, but make him uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? Like, because recall, there were times where we were sitting on the other side of the building in the shade where there was a breeze. The same breeze existed during that time, but they were like doing something to the dog to make him have a horrible fucking reaction. And he would pant so much, like he was just so, you know what I'm saying, like his needs weren't being met, you know, and he had just had the last of his water. But it was because of that I asked for a gallon of water. And I told him specifically, like, anyways, none of that matters. So he brings me back a water. And he ends up not coming the next day. But I reach out to him and I have a conversation with him. I said, so I let him know ahead of time. I'm like, I don't have access to cash. I said, all I have is tap. And I was like, I was like, don't count me out though, because I'm gonna try to find an ATM where I can get some cash from, and you know, to try and make sure I get you a cash payment. I was like, but in the event that I cannot get cash, will a gift card be fine? Will a $200 gift card be okay? Like, will you accept that as a form of payment? And he was like, I'm gonna need the cash. I'm gonna need the cash. He was like, but if you know, no, all else fails, you know, like, then he'll take the gift card. So the next day comes, and like he comes out the same day, And I'm like arranging the lift also. I got into it with a white female too that day, like about my dog. And I didn't put that nowhere. I probably will end up telling that story too, because you want to hear that. So I don't know what in the fuck make these motherfucking dummies, these demons, think that they have the authority or to approach motherfuckers in the way that they do. Talk about you gonna call the motherfucking people on me, bitch. I make a motherfucking fool out of you. So anyways, and then, you know what I'm saying, as soon as they find out it ain't what they thought it was, first of all, you ain't had no business. Mind your own motherfucking business. It was none of your business to begin with. Okay? You don't come at people like that. You don't know me from no motherfucking where, and it's not your business. I don't have to explain myself to you. So anyways, I might talk about that later, but I'm trying to get to these details, man. I'm telling you. So the next day he comes, and you know, we're like pretty much, because I'm always a day ahead with stuff. So that night prior, I went in there and I priced the part, with the commercial discount and everything, and found out that there was two. There's one that the time sits at 10:45, and there's one that the time sits at 11:15. And he said, my advice to you is to get with your mechanic, have him remove the part first, so we can know which one you need for sure. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I explained that to him the next day when he came. I also told him I was on my way, like while he was there, like after he got good and started, I had ran across the street, got him a soda, everything. And he liked Sprite. Or I asked him if he needed anything or if he wanted anything while I was about to go across the street, and he was like, I'll have a Sprite. And I was like, okay. And he was like, so he gets started. I tell him I'm gonna run and go check, and I go to Georgia Tech. Okay, Georgia Tech University, the Wells Fargo near there. I'm talking about that day, it was probably 4 ATMs. 2 there at that location though. The one on the building and the one at the drive-thru. They declined them both. And so the third time it was done, it was near the Publix around the corner from where my car is located. And I showed the mechanic, I was like, this is what's been happening at each and every one. And he was like, well, I think there's one inside. And I was like, well, and if there's not, do you want me to go ahead and get the gift card on there? He was like, oh, I thought you already had the gift card. I was like, no, I don't have the gift card. I was like, I need to purchase it. So if all else fails, do you want me to grab it while I'm in there? And he was like, yeah, that'll be all right. Because look, what he asked me was, when he showed up, he said, hey, you got $25 on you? And I don't want to, I'm mad, so I'm not conveying it. He was very sincere when he said it. The reason I chose to let him do the work on my car is because I don't like riffraff, and I didn't want to deal with any of the young guys. I hate people too much. I don't have time for that. I don't even want to hear them talk. You get what I'm saying? So this elder, you know what I'm saying, he was like, respectful. When he showed up that night, he wasn't like really, but that's how he talked to them. He wasn't talking to me. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see both sides of it or whatever, but like as far as him and I dealing with one another, he had to be respectful. He was giving me the same energy. Because I told you, when I asked him, I said, so when he discovered what it was, and I asked him, I said, so would you go ahead and do the work for me? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, how much are you going to charge me? And he was like, and I mocked him. I was like, I said, oh shit, Carlos. I said, he hit me with the, for you, I do, for you, I do it for, and puppy, come on, man. Stop putting your teeth on me like that. It's your problem. What is your the fun police, man? I'm telling you, I laugh and the dog be all fucking demons. Oh, for you I do it, for this amount, you know, whatever. We all laughed when I did it. Pup, stop tangling yourself. Hey. Stop, come on, man. No, come on. Don't try to hump me in public. Look what you're doing. You can't hump me. Not out here. Puppy, no, not right now. This is not a good time. This is not a good time. This is not a good time. Wait till we get back. Hey, look, aggressive foreplay. Stop nibbling on me. Don't nibble on me either. Stop. Don't do it. I told you I'm not into those things. Oh, my German Shepherd is the cutest. Anyways. No, it wasn't. Not this time. Shut the fuck up, bitch, and stop interrupting me with y'all stupid, loud, diarrhea, stinking ass mouths. Like, just y'all are hoes that swallow fucking diarrhea shit. You let a motherfucking squat and shit right in your motherfucking. Shut the fuck up. All that invisible harassment. Shut the fuck up. Puppies, you too. Shut up. Every time I go off on them bitches, you get to whining. Be quiet. You see, I'm trying to do something. So, we agreed to the price. Oh, no, that was... Anyways, I backed up to tell you that part, and now I'm going to go back forward. So, he's there. I make sure he's situated. I situate my dog. I told him, I said, I'm going to put the dog on the other side of the building. I ain't going to be going on about a half an hour, but it ended up being an hour. Hey, puppy, stop trying to nibble it on me again. Puppy, that hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Don't do it. What is wrong with you? I'm going to have to finish this when I get back. There. Puppy, why are you doing this? Why you just don't care? I don't like when you nibble on me. Don't. Don't do it. I'm not almost done, but I feel like I'm halfway. Hey, stop nibbling. Stop.